So today I need to work on this clutch. Ever since I got this thing running, I've noticed that when I start off, even with the clutch fully engaged, if the RPMs aren't high, it'll kill the bike. If you kind of rev it a little bit, you can shift. But even then, like if you're just holding in the clutch and shifting through the gears, I can feel the bike like trying to drive. So I either got a sticky clutch plate because I've adjusted it enough, or I think I might have put that clutch basket cover. I think it's keyed. I was watching some videos, so we'll take a look and see. Huh, look at this. I just took the cover off. I pull the clutch, the whole basket is moving. Like they're all stuck or stuck to this. So instead of this separating from here, the whole basket moves. Let me take this off and then see what happens. All right, so what I ended up, my plan is, you see those little bits that are there? This, you got to remember, this bike sat for a while, so I'm thinking that's why it's sticky. I know what I showed you earlier, where like kind of all the plates are sticking to the front. I don't necessarily think that's the problem. I think that they're sticking because there's this residue from the friction plates or the friction discs that go onto these plates, or whatever they're named. But either way, I'm gonna take some sandpaper and just give this a new fresh resurface, so it's a little less sticky to the friction discs. And if that doesn't do it, we'll see. So I didn't go ham on them. I just gave them a little cleaning. You can't feel any of that, but You know, you can still see some of the residue. But like I said, I didn't want to go real hard in the paint on these. So I just went over with the Dremel and a brushless brush and just gave them a little scoring, cleaning. Maybe that'll help. We'll see. Oh, and I'm just gonna pay a little extra attention to flat side. You'll see this is like a rounded edge. Probably can't see it too well, but then this side being the sharp edge of where the die press, when he pressed these rings, kind of cut into them. So I'm just gonna make sure I go the same way with all of them. You'll see videos, some guys say sharp side out, some say sharp side in, whatever, and other guys say it doesn't matter as long as you do the same direction for all of them. So I'm gonna go rounded side of the die press facing out, and then just reassemble, and we'll see how it goes. So when I had it all out, I went ahead and I had this file already. So I went ahead, even though you really couldn't feel the ridges, you could see them, and it didn't take me that long. So I just gave this a little bit of love all the way around on both sides of every wing, and just filed them to where there should be zero humps or resistance to help those plates separate. So we'll see with all the things that I did if that makes a big difference. Well, filed down the basket, cleaned the plates, and it still will not roll in gear with the clutch in. So what I've done is I adjusted the cable, loosened it here, tightened it there, so I could have maybe more or less less of an adjustment up here, because I had a lot of adjustment on that guy right there. So I tightened it here. Anyhow, got the clamp on the clutch. Clutch basket is, clutch is pulled. It's as tight as it'll go, pretty much. And lean the bike over, soaking it in fresh oil. And maybe that's all it is. Because when I did take the engine apart, I did have the clutch basket and all of its plates in a bag. They weren't necessarily in a bucket soaking in oil, but I mean, they had the oil that they had on them went inside that bag. But I didn't like soak them in oil. So we'll see if me kind of leaning the bike, soaking it in fresh oil for a day or two, or we'll try it about every day, see how it goes, see if it gets any better. The bike runs just fine, but the first time you put it in gear, it's got to be snapped out. Like all of those plates got to get broke free, and then just kick it right back over and then drive away. It's fine. And then it really has no problems. But for some reason, just sitting there, it will bind up the clutch. So we'll see how this does. So it's been sitting for about 24 hours like that with that clamp. I tried it yesterday, about 18, 12 hours in to it sitting like that. And still it won't roll in gear with the clutch pulled in. So I'm gonna try it one more time. We'll see how it goes. That's neutral. It's fine. Pulling the clutch. Oh, is it free? Wait, hold on. I don't think I made it in first. Yeah. I didn't quite make it in first. So it's still seized up. not gonna work on it today, so I might as well leave it. All right, it's been a day or 2 days almost, and that soaking it on the right side of the bike and keeping that clamp on there, it didn't really work too well. So here's another look at this basket. Let me see if I can. I've already filed this stuff down. I mean, you cannot feel a groove on the outer. I also filed down the inner hub as well. It's kind of harder to feel in there, but they're not any kind of way notched out. I guess what I'm getting at is I doubt the fact that this is the problem. I'm almost sure that the fact is the plates. And I talked to my mechanic that I sent my crank off to, and he said, replace the springs. The springs are too tight. Go with OEM springs. He asked me if these are aftermarket, and I told him I don't know. I'm assuming yes, but I really don't know. It's a 23-year-old bike. I'm sure somebody replaced the clutch. It's just a matter of what springs did they use. I don't really know. So anyway, I've already cleaned these discs. Gave them a little filing and all of that. But what I didn't clean and get all the oil off of and resurfacing was the fibers, the actual fiber discs. So today, I got these soaking in soapy water now. I'm gonna just hit them with that toothbrush, get all the oil off of them, and just, you know, give them a little bit of attention. I'm not gonna like go at them with sandpaper or nothing like that. Maybe lightly. We'll see. And then I'll start playing with oil and see if they're still tacky. Let me show you what I noticed here. So these have been scrubbed, right? You see the little white, cloudy looking substance? You put your nail through that and just lightly. There's a little layer of something there that I think I'm gonna go with a little Scotch-Brite first. See if I can get that cloudiness off of these fibers. And then if I still can't get the cloudiness off of the fibers, then I'll go with maybe something a little bit more aggressive, like I have some 600 grit sandpaper, just to give it a new surface. And then I'll follow up with you. I'm just drying them off now. Obviously there's no oil on them, so they seem like they're less tacky for sure because there's no oil on them right now. But I'm also laying them on this flat surface and making sure that none of them are warped, which, you know, they don't seem to be warped either. Obviously they're not sticky anymore, but I got to put the metal plates in there to test that. I mean, I don't have a slippy clutch, but I figured I'd just measure these anyway, just so I know where they are. I've already measured a bunch of those two, and I mean, I'm sitting around 2.85. Let me get off of that. Yeah, 2.85, 2.84. I mean, this is very even wear. What's it, 7.9? Let's see here. Yeah, 2.85, 2.85, 2.84. So there's not uneven wear. Cross that off the list. So I went ahead and did the same thing to these again. A little bit of sandpaper, soapy water. And if you take, you know, they're dry right now, so obviously they're not sticky or tacky because they're dry. But I took, let me put these in here. But I took one and I just gave it a little oil, and the tackiness I feel is like it's just gonna reproduce itself. So, oof. Sorry about that. My dogs and the neighbor's dogs are getting at it. Anyway, I instantly felt a tackiness that I don't know. This is what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm gonna soak these outside of the clutch so they can really absorb the oil before they have any pressure with the steel plates. And we'll see how that goes. All right, so here's the problem. Bike's in neutral now. Rolls just fine, right? If I put it in gear, okay, it's in first now. Clutch is pulled. It will not roll without turning the engine. You can hear it turning the engine. Even if I pump it, try to break it free. Huh. It's rolling. I guess it's not turning it over. You can hear it turning my engine over though. Yeah, right there. Pretty good drag. So let's go over all the things that I've done so far. I have filed down the outer hub basket and the inner hub basket, even though I didn't think that was going to be a problem because they were just so minor, but I did it. I changed the oil. I went from this Rotel triple T4 to some thinner non-synthetic TW30. I'm sorry, 10W30 from 1540. And in between those oil changes, I cleaned all of those fibers. Soap, water, got all of those, you know, and the steels, and then soaked the fibers for a little while into the 10W30, the new oil, before I reassembled it. I think I soaked them overnight. I'm pretty sure I did. Then reassembled it. Same problem. Let me see. What else have I done? I talked to my mechanic. I think I spoke to you guys earlier about it. I am going to replace the springs. So he asked me if these were OEM springs. So I ordered some because they weren't that expensive and it was worth a try. So I'm gonna replace these, but I'm also gonna measure these versus what's on it just to see what we got. All right, let's see what we got here. Zero. So the current one, we are at, let's do millimeters. 39.68. Let's try another one. Make sure we get this. I guess it's kind of hard to measure. You got to make sure you're catching the whole thing. Yeah, 39.66. Got to make sure you're on top of the entire spring here. Oh, that one's not going to be as easy. 39.61. Let's see what the new ones might have to be. I mean, they're 39.65. I mean, $39.6. These things are not any different. I definitely don't feel any different. I mean, these things are the same size wise, tension wise. But we'll try. We'll see how it goes. All right. Let's see if any magic just happened. All right.
Hey, turn on the camera. Get off the scale. All right, fine, fine. I blame myself. You know what? I don't blame myself. No, not this time, Tony. Excuse me 1 second. How you doing, little Tony? Bad? Why do you feel bad? Because everything's falling apart and I can't do anything about it. It's not your fault. I know it's not my fault, but whose fault is it if it's not my fault? It's their fault. That's right, it's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. You have failed, and you will pay.
Whoa. What?
All right. I think the next step is replace the cut fibers, even though, you know, they're sticking too good. check this out. Just got the bike warmed up and rode it. I'm in first gear right now. Listen. It's rolling. It's hard to push, but it's not really turning my engine over that much. Now I'm gonna let the clutch go. All right. Clutch in. Start rolling again. So it'll break free just fine after I warm it up, even though it feels like there's definitely still some drag as it's cooling off. It's starting to get stickier again. But some folks say it's normal. So yeah, it's kind of turning my engine over if I go a little too fast. But for the most part, it's just kind of hard to push. But it's not totally locked up, because if I let go of the clutch, you'll see it again. That's it. If I let go of the clutch, it's locked up. I'm trying to turn my engine over. So it will free up. I ran out of gas down the road. This thing can drink some gas, man, for sure. What do we have here? Oh. See if this fixes the sticky clutch problem. Well, they're definitely a different style of material. They're lighter, that's for sure. Probably because they're dry, obviously, and I'm used to sticking with wet ones, but they're this cork material. That's probably another reason why they're a little bit lighter. It does say to soak them for a few hours. I'm gonna soak them overnight, and we'll try it out pretty soon. All right, last go. About to put the new clutch in. It's been soaking for over 24 hours. So if this doesn't fix it, then I'm just gonna sell it the way it is, because it runs just fine once you break the clutch free. But here we go. All right, here we go. That new EBC clutch. And then hopefully this will fix it. Oh, I wanted to do a little comparison before I put these in here. Oh yeah. I just wanted to make sure that they were not too thin on those tabs. Yeah. Well, yeah, good. I'll try to save some time. I'm gonna time lapse the rest of this. All right, new clutch is in. Clutch plate looks normal, I guess, as normal as it has been. So I'm gonna finish slapping it all together and then we'll test it out. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if this EBC clutch plate solved my problem. Let me make sure I don't have any kind of crazy leaks going on right now. Yeah, looks fine. All right. All right. We are in neutral. Let's go to first. It's definitely better. I mean, it's still, I can still feel it. I can hear it turn my engine over. But it's definitely not completely locked up. If I let the clutch go, I'm in gear. I mean, that's locked up. That's clutch is locked. Yeah, well, I'll give it a, put it back in neutral. I'll give it another test real soon. Warm it up, give it a ride, start it up, see how it feels. And then I'll be closing this video out. I'm about done with this problem. Completely cold. It's in first gear right now, and it's still, it don't just roll smoothly. I mean, I haven't started a bike in a couple days. Well, more than a couple days, over a week. So I'm gonna slap it in neutral. We'll give it a spin, and then see how it goes. I said clutch, I meant choke. Here, let's go for a little rip. Yep, didn't die on me. That's promising. Play with this idle for a second. Let's test this sticky clutch one last thing. Put this to bed. So after I ran it, yeah, see, after you run it, just get it warmed up and break it free, then it's fine. So I'm gonna say it was normal. I don't think I had to replace those clutch plates. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. We'll say it's normal. It's not really turning my engine over anymore. It was when it was cold, but it's not anymore.